Though the world feels mapped and measured, Earth still hides places that refuse to be found. Remote, alien, and nearly forgotten, these locations seem as though the planet itself is guarding its most impenetrable secrets. Join us as we reveal the most inaccessible and isolated places on Earth. Places so remote, there's no turning back. A barren wasteland stretches as far as the eye can see, a landscape so alien it could be mistaken for the surface of Mars. This is Devon Island, the world's largest uninhabited island, located in the remote reaches of the Canadian Arctic. With its harsh, unforgiving terrain and a climate that mirrors the brutal conditions on the red planet, it's no wonder NASA has chosen this 21,000 square mile island as a testing ground for future Mars missions. The Houghton Impact Crater, a 14-mile-wide scar left by a meteorite strike 39 million years ago, dominates the island's landscape. Its rocky terrain and extreme weather conditions, with temperatures plummeting to -58 degrees Fahrenheit, make it a challenging environment for any form of life to thrive. Yet, despite the odds, NASA's Houghton Mars project has successfully operated a research station here since 1997, demonstrating the resilience and adaptability of humans in the face of adversity. Scientists and engineers from around the world flock to Devon Island to test cutting-edge technologies and simulate life on Mars. From rovers designed to traverse the red planet's rugged surface to spacesuits that can withstand the harsh cosmic radiation, the island has become a proving ground for the future of space exploration. The lessons learned here will pave the way for humanity's greatest venture yet, the journey to Mars. North Sentinel Island, India, a mere 31 square miles in the Bay of Bengal, has resisted modern civilization for over 60,000 years. Home to the Sentinels, one of the world's last uncontacted tribes, this isolated realm is fiercely defended by its inhabitants. The Sentinels have violently rejected all attempts at contact, determinedly preserving their ancient way of life. Little is known about the Sentinels, their language, culture, or beliefs. Estimates suggest that there are between 50 and 400 individuals living on the island, their numbers dwindling due to the ever-present threats of disease and inbreeding. The Indian government has declared the island off-limits to visitors, respecting the tribe's desire to remain isolated and untouched by the modern world. In 2018, the world was shocked by the tragic death of John Allen Chow, an American missionary who attempted to make contact with the Sentinels. He lost his life on his third attempt to reach island. In November 1963, a volcanic eruption in the frigid waters south of Iceland gave birth to a new island, a barren chunk of lava and ash that would come to be known as Surtsey, named after the Norse fire giant Surtur. This 0.5 square mile island emerged as a blank slate, a pristine laboratory for scientists to study the genesis of life on a new landmass. From the moment Surtsey broke the surface, researchers have been carefully monitoring its evolution, witnessing the arrival of seeds carried by the wind and waves, the colonization of hardy plants and insects, and the slow but steady formation of a unique ecosystem. The island has been declared a nature reserve, with access strictly limited to scientific personnel, ensuring that its development remains as natural as possible. Over the decades, Surtsey has provided an unprecedented glimpse into the processes that shape our world. Its volcanic soil has given rise to a diverse array of flora, from mosses and lichens to hardy grasses, and even the occasional tomato plant inadvertently introduced by visiting scientists. The island's cliffs have become a haven for seabirds, with thousands of puffins, gulls, and petrels making their nests on its rugged shores. Pitcairn Islands. The Pitcairn Islands, a tiny British overseas territory in the vast South Pacific, harbor one of the world's most isolated communities. Home to just 50 inhabitants, this remote archipelago bears a unique history. Its residents are descendants of the infamous Bounty mutineers who settled here in 1790, linking the islands to a dark chapter of maritime lore. The mutiny on the HMS Bounty has become the stuff of legend, a tale of rebellion and romance set against the backdrop of the South Seas in 1789. A group of disgruntled sailors led by Fletcher Christian overthrew their captain, William Bligh, and set him adrift in a small boat. The mutineers then sailed the Bounty to Tahiti, where they picked up a group of Polynesian men and women before setting off in search of a new home. They eventually found it on Pitcairn Island, a remote volcanic outcrop measuring just 1.75 square miles. For many years, the descendants of the mutineers lived in relative isolation, their numbers slowly growing until the island's population peaked at 233 in 1937. However, in recent decades, the community has been rocked by scandal, with revelations of widespread sexual abuse leading to the conviction of 6 men in 2004. Off the coast of São Paulo, Brazil, lies a place so deadly that it has been declared off-limits to the public. Ilha Queima Grande, better known as Snake Island, is a 106-acre patch of land that is home to a staggering population of golden lancehead pit vipers, one of the most venomous snakes on Earth. The golden lancehead, a species found nowhere else in the world, has evolved in isolation on the island for thousands of years. With no natural predators and an abundant supply of migratory birds to feed on, the snakes have thrived, their numbers estimated to be between 2,000 and 4,000. The snake's venom is so potent that it can melt human flesh, and a single bite can kill a person in under an hour. The island's deadly reputation has earned it a place in local folklore, with tales of gruesome deaths and narrow escapes. In the early 20th century, a lighthouse keeper and his family were reportedly killed by the snakes after they invaded the family's home. Today, the Brazilian Navy maintains a ban on visitors to the island, with access granted only to a handful of researchers who are studying the golden lanceheads in their natural habitat.
In the remote reaches of southern Venezuela, a mountain rises from the jungle, its sheer cliffs and flat-topped summit standing in stark contrast to the lush vegetation that surrounds it. This is Sari-Sarinama Mountain, a place of myth and legend where the secrets of an ancient world lie hidden among the twisted rock formations and gaping sinkholes that scar its surface. For the indigenous Yuana people who have lived in the shadow of Sari-Sarinama for generations, the mountain is a place of great spiritual significance, a sacred site where the spirits of their ancestors are said to dwell. But for the outside world, Sari-Sarinama remained largely unknown until the 1970s when a group of Venezuelan scientists made a startling discovery. Flying over the mountain in a small plane, the scientists noticed a series of massive sinkholes pockmarking the summit, some of them over 1,000 feet deep and 1,000 feet wide. Intrigued, the scientists returned to the mountain on foot, braving the dense jungle and sheer cliffs to explore these strange formations up close. What they found was a landscape unlike anything they had ever seen before. The sinkholes, known as simas in Spanish, were not just empty pits, but complex ecosystems in their own right, with their own unique flora and fauna adapted to life in the cool, moist environment of the cave-like formations. Some of the sinkholes were so deep that they had their own microclimates, with temperatures and humidity levels that differed significantly from the surrounding jungle. Heard and McDonald Islands, Indian Ocean. Volcanic fury and oceanic might clash in a primordial dance, giving birth to 2 of Earth's most untamed outposts. Heard Island, the larger of the 2, is a place of stunning contrasts. Its towering peaks, capped with snow and ice, rise to a height of 9,600 feet at the summit of Mawson Peak, one of only 2 active volcanoes in Australian territory. The island's rugged coastline is battered by the fury of the Southern Ocean, while its interior is a patchwork of glaciers, lava fields, and wind-swept tundra. In this harsh and unforgiving environment, life clings tenaciously to every nook and cranny, from the hardy mosses and lichens that blanket the rocks to the seals and penguins that seek refuge on its shores. McDonald Island, just 26 miles to the west, is a smaller and even more inhospitable place. Its rocky shores are pounded by crashing waves, and its interior is a barren, wind-swept wasteland devoid of vegetation and almost entirely covered in ice. Yet even here, life finds a foothold, with vast colonies of seabirds wheeling overhead and seals basking on the rocky beaches. Val del Javari, Amazon rainforest. The Javari Valley, a 33,000 square mile expanse in the Amazon rainforest, stands as a sanctuary untouched by modern civilization. This pristine wilderness harbors some of Earth's last uncontacted tribes. These indigenous peoples have chosen isolation, fiercely defending their traditional way of life against outside influences. For centuries, the tribes of the Javari Valley have lived in harmony with the forest, relying on its bounty for their sustenance and spiritual well-being. They are skilled hunters and gatherers, using traditional weapons like bows and arrows to hunt the abundant game that roams the forest floor. They are also master navigators, using the stars and the rhythms of the forest to guide them through the dense underbrush. But in recent decades, the Javari Valley has come under increasing threat from the outside world. Illegal loggers, miners, and poachers have begun to encroach on the tribe's ancestral lands, seeking to exploit the forest's rich resources for profit. The tribes have responded with fierce resistance, engaging in violent clashes with the intruders, and sometimes paying with their lives to defend their homeland.
Plunging into the Pacific Ocean's darkest depths, a chasm opens up that could swallow Mount Everest whole and still have room to spare. This gargantuan gouge in the Earth's crust is the Mariana Trench, a crescent-shaped scar stretching over 36,000 feet deep, a distance greater than the cruising altitude of commercial airliners. It's the deepest known point on our planet, where the pressure is equivalent to balancing 50 jumbo jets on a single fingertip. In this realm of perpetual darkness and unimaginable force, the weight of the water above could flatten a human body as easily as a hydraulic press crushing a soda can. Yet, defying all odds, life flourishes in this extreme environment. Giant single-celled organisms called xenophyophores roam the trench floor, while the translucent Mariana snailfish navigates the crushing depths with ease. Perhaps most remarkably, microbes thrive in scalding hydrothermal vents that line the trench walls, enduring temperatures that would be lethal to most surface-dwelling creatures. Venturing into the Mariana Trench demands not only specialized equipment, but also extraordinary courage. Only a select few have braved the journey to its bottom, facing immense pressure and absolute darkness to glimpse a world utterly alien to human eyes. In 2012, film director James Cameron etched his name in history, becoming the first person to reach the trench's nadir in a solo dive. His specially designed submersible captured breathtaking footage of this otherworldly realm, offering a rare window into one of Earth's last true frontiers. The vast expanse of the South Pacific, a tiny island with a population of just 58 people, has become the stuff of legend, a place where the family tree is more like a tangled bush and where every resident can trace their ancestry back to one man. Palmerston Island, a coral atoll in the Cook Islands, is a place where history and genetics have collided in the most unexpected way. The story of Palmerston Island began in 1863, when an Englishman named William Marsters arrived on its shores with 3 Polynesian wives. Over the next several decades, Marsters and his wives had a total of 23 children, and those children went on to have their own children. Today, all but 3 of the island's inhabitants are direct descendants of Marsters, making it one of the most genetically homogeneous populations on Earth. Life on Palmerston Island is a throwback to a simpler time, with no cars, no shops, and no running water. The islanders live off the land and the sea, growing their own crops and catching their own fish. They communicate with the outside world via a single satellite phone, and they rely on a supply ship that visits just twice a year to bring them essential goods like medicine and fuel.